Charles, this is RJ Bates calling you about your property on 1409. Let me butcher this real quick. Conacoa Drive.
Yeah.
Did I nail it?
Yeah. It's Conacoa.
Conacoa, okay.
It's Hawaiian, yeah.
I gotcha. Well, you know what? My best friend lives in Hawaii. I probably should have known how to pronounce that a little bit better. But
we got Aloha and Kontiki and all that good stuff.
I gotcha. So, yeah, you'd entered your information on our site about selling that property. You still looking to sell it?
Yeah.
Awesome. How much you looking to get for that one?
I need an offer.
You need an offer. All right.
Yep. I'm going to put it like that. Yep.
Tell me what's going on with the property. Is it vacant, occupied?
Oh, I live there.
All right.
Me and my partner do, and we're planning on moving.
I gotcha.
I've got a lot of work on it, but it's not finished. I got all the metal roof bought for it. I got the back done and tarred the front up to the fireplace. It's got a nice brick fireplace, big one. It's only a 2-bedroom. It's only a 1-bath. It's got a single car garage attached. I put laminate floor in it. I don't know, probably 6-7 years ago, maybe longer than that. I painted the inside, but it needs to be painted again. It needs some facelift on the outside. Nothing major structurally. It's sound. It's pier and beam. City water and the city sewer, which is gravity flow. It has a well on it. It needs some work on the pump or the hose because the pump's still running. I'm not sure what's going on with it. I don't have the strength to pull it up 90 feet, down in the well anymore. They're heavy. I've done it twice. I'm just not going to do it again. And it does have a well. The well's never run dry. The backyard is fenced. There's 2 lots. The backyard is the second lot. I think that's 83. No, 84. The house faces Conacoa, but the address on the plat is Aloha.
Right.
So it's on the corner. You got water view in 2 or 3 different directions. Boat ramps about 150 to 200 yards from the house. It's a private addition. It's not fenced or gated, but in order to have access to the park and boat ramp, you're supposed to be a member of the POA. The dues on both pieces of property are $60 a year, which ain't bad. And it's really quiet neighborhood. There's decent. There's some good people here.
If you had to throw a number, it sounds like you understand the cost of construction. So if you had to throw a number on what it needs rehab wise, what would that number be?
Well, we'll see. Back 15 years ago, I could do all the work myself, so there was no labor costs.
Right.
So I've been in construction 44 years. And I would say, paint inside and out. The kitchen definitely needs the cabinets jerked out and replaced. I'm not sure what that's going to cost. That's going to be a few grand.
Right.
Probably 4,000 or 5,000 maybe. That's what I'm thinking. Not built on the job, built in the shop and installed.
Right.
And a laminate floor, for the most part, is in great shape. There's a few places where it's shrunk and swelled, due to humidity and dry. And dirt got in the cracks, so it doesn't go back together when it gets humid. So, there's got some dirt in the cracks. But it's a distressed hickory floor. It's not cheap, but we paid several $1,000s for the floor. And it does have the underlayment under it. So that's done. As far as, I've never had a termite problem, so I don't think you got an issue there. There's some siding on the outside, which is the old style. The house is built mid-60s. It's got, lap siding, which is pine. It's clear pine. It has a little swing in, and then it comes out flat for about 6 or 7 inches, and then overlaps the next piece.
Okay.
You understand what kind of, I can't remember the name of the siding.
I understand.
I mean, it's hard to find, but Broom and Sons, here where we live at the lake, they have it. They can get it.
Right.
But since it's pretty high, it's like $2 a foot. So, I don't know. I ain't going to put a number on labor. Right now, if I work, it's $50 an hour. So, I mean, I don't care. I mean, I'm too old to do it. If I'm gonna do it, I'm gonna make it worth my while.
Right.
Anyway, material wise, you're probably looking at, let's say, $4 or $5 grand on the cabinets.
Right.
You got to paint the house on the inside. Of course, you got to protect the floor, the windows. I've replaced all the windows in the house except for 3, and I have 2 of those bought. I may get around to it before we move. I probably will. And they're double pane insulated glass. They're good quality window.
You said you bought the roofing material, right? Is it on site?
I got the roof material there. It's all metal roof. So
gotcha. What kind of roofing system?
It's white gable trim and a red ridge. So it's red, white, and blue.
Gotcha.
That's the color scheme I got. So
gotcha.
It's all new, but its weather's been sitting on the ground, skids for 3 or 4 years. So
I see.
So when you pull the sheet up, you don't have to wash it. I mean, that's all I'd say.
Right.
Trees need trimming, but that's an act of nature.
So how quickly would you be able to move out of the property if we were to come to an agreement?
Probably end of January.
Okay.
We're moving to Northwest Arkansas. We have a lot of junk to get rid of before we move, and a lot of stuff to pack up and move.
I can see. Okay.
And, yeah.
Well, we can accommodate the closing based around your schedule there. So even if you needed more time, we could work with you there. That's
okay.
I was just curious if you were on a time crunch and you wanted to be out by a time, or hey, this might be a little bit of a lengthy process there.
We can't move immediately. There's no way. Right now, I'm having some health issues that I don't know what it is. It feels like a hernia, but I don't know what it is. I'll have results Monday or Tuesday. They did a sonogram Jason. Let's see what's going on there. Shoot. Anything. It's value. It's crazy at like at $105,000 almost. I'm not going to take that. I want more than that. And if nobody wants to pay that, I'm just going to hang on to it.
I see.
It's a decent piece of property. The lot is huge. The backyard is huge. I used to have a Great Dane out there, and she had plenty of running room. It's 2/3 of an acre. It is a corner lot. Like I say, you got water for your 3 different residents.
Right
here, it's a lake. There's a lake right there's going. There's good fishing in this lake. There's your selling point. So.
Well,
you're an investor, right?
I am, and then so I'm looking at 1408 right across the street that sold back in July. I see it sold for 113.
Yep.
But man,
it's a smaller house too.
Yeah, but they had done a lot of work to it on the inside.
Yes, they did. They only had one lot too. They didn't have a will.
Yeah. So
you just have to look at the property. The trees in the backyard are towering oaks. I mean, they're anywhere from 40 feet to 80 feet tall. And there's something else that's not. They're all oaks. Every one of them are oaks.
So I'm getting a second lot, right? That.
Yeah, it's the whole piece of property.
All right. So, I mean,
if you wanted to buy it and tear it down, and yeah, you can put 2 houses on the property. The house, like I said, it's built in the 60s. It's still solid. And the roof is 3/4 deck and it's lap deck. One by 8s or 1 by 12s. And it's old school decking, but it's still strong.
Right.
And I stripped 3 layers of shingles off 20 some odd years ago, and put 1 layer on there. And my roof was wearing out, so I decided to go back to metal. So I just overlaid everything.
And you're 1,200 square feet total, correct?
That's with the garage, yes. That's what it says, the paperwork.
Well, that's not including the square footage of the garage, right?
Yeah, it is. It's including the garage. The garage is attached.
Okay.
That's under roof. I would say it's probably, I don't know. It might be 1,200 square foot. It's probably
Let's just say it is. Let's just say it's 1,200 square foot, not including the garage.
I don't think it's that big. I've got a huge living room area. It's kind of like a den, living room, and a place to eat. You know. Then you got a kitchen with another offset door, but you could have a nook in front of the back window. And there's 2 storage buildings that go with it. We're about 5-6 years ago. There's about 30 grand worth of buildings right there too.
Right. Well, I'm just gonna be honest with you. The issue that I'm facing is that all of the properties that are worth more than what you're asking, they have some kind of waterfront access, and yours doesn't. And so that leads me to the one across the street, which sold for 113, but it didn't need any work. You know, I mean,
They don't have any waterfront access either, though.
I know, that's what I'm saying, but that would be my comp, but it didn't. They had already remodeled it, but yours needs all the work that you're telling me about. So
if you don't want to go over what it's worth, then you don't want it.
correct. All right. Well, thank you, Charles.
Thank you for your time.
Bye bye.